Today's conversation is with Yasmin Abraham. Yasmin and her brother founded Kambo Energy Systems, I believe is what it's called, and they work to promote clean energy for disadvantaged peoples, mostly out west in Canada, but possibly spreading east. I think the conversation with Yasmin about her career path and particularly what Kambo does will be fascinating.
Okay, so hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks for joining me today.
No problem.
So I'll start with the first question. How did you get started in your career path?
Yeah, it's a wild and wonderful story. So my name is Yasmin Abraham. I run an organization called Kambo Energy Group, and our organization works in the climate and equity and community space. So we work across Canada and the US to help ensure that groups and communities that are typically not included in climate programming have access to all of the benefits. So we work with Indigenous communities, tribal communities, newcomers, low-income households, immigrants, folks that typically are not accessing those programs. And I run the organization alongside my brother. We're a family-based organization, and our dad actually started the organization 16 years ago now. And so my journey is I think it's pretty unique. I got my undergrad degree in applied science. I have a molecular biology degree and biochemistry, but never really felt like that was the career path that I wanted to take. I really enjoyed the content, but when it came to my career, it wasn't typically what I wanted to do. So I was working after I graduated. I was working in kind of a sales role, a bit of a project manager, sales. I worked at a startup company and had some really great mentors, had some really great leaders take me under their wing and just kind of show me how business was run. Also, my family comes from a very long line of entrepreneurs, so I always had that sort of bent for business. And then I want to go and do my MBA because I love business so much, but had a biochemistry degree. So I went back and did my MBA, and then my dad asked me to join the family business. And, I had no idea. I had no idea what he did or really what this sector was when it came to energy efficiency and utility programs. And at that time, there was no link to climate. People weren't really talking about climate change as it relates to energy efficiency from a government and utility level. I joined the business and really, really fell in love with the impact that this kind of work can have. Really fell in love with what you can do for somebody's home, and that impact when you improve the insulation and the windows and you make it warmer and you make it more comfortable and you add cooling. It's not the technology that excites me, it's what creating a home that's comfortable does for somebody. So that's how I got started. That's why I love it. I think it's a pretty unique career path, but
Yeah, definitely.
here we are.
Yeah, well, that's pretty awesome. That's definitely unique. That's very interesting. So I guess I'll go into what led you to work in this field, but you kind of already covered that a little bit. So I don't know if there's anything else you have along that, but
yeah, I think I really stayed, like I said, for the impact to people. For me, it's all about the people. It's all about the relationships. I think energy efficiency, which is the work that we really do, is like this really. It's this place where you're saving people energy, and it has so many impacts. Not only for the grid, it's making the grid stronger. You can also, it has an impact on climate, more resilience. Like it's just to me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. It's the foundation. It's not the sexiest part of climate. It's not like solar panels and AI, but I think it's the foundational work.
yeah, definitely. Would you say that's kind of similar to like net zero housing in a way?
Energy efficiency has a place with net zero. It has a different goal though. Net zero is of course to make your home net zero and not use any GHGs. Energy efficiency is about using less energy. So helping the home changing like light bulbs and insulation and windows and weatherization. So helping the homes keep that heat in as much as it can and keep that cooling in. So you need energy efficiency to do a net zero home.
Yeah, for sure. What were your greatest accomplishments and joys?
Oh my God, this is a big question.
Yeah.
My greatest accomplishment, I think, what I feel most proud of is the impact that we've had on the sector, in Canada, just really advocating for the work we do and the people that we work with, and of course the impact we've had in communities. So working with thousands and thousands of homes in Indigenous communities, low-income communities, people who would never have had the benefit of this work. And so that is amazing, and that really keeps us all going here at Kambo. And then I think the third piece for me is just building a business that has 30, 40 people and great jobs, and creating a place where everybody gets to do, for me, it's the best work of my life. And I think it's awesome to get to build a business and do that with other people who I love working with.
So I'll go into the next question. What were your biggest obstacles you faced, and how did you overcome them?
I think for me, the biggest obstacles is always internal. It's always, my own self-doubt, the things that I mentally put in my way to do the things that I want. So I think learning to overcome those, and I have this adage that I always think of. I think it's a Nelson Mandela quote, that it always seems impossible until it's done. Like, things always feel like there's no way I can do that, and then all of a sudden you've done it. So I always think of that. I think the biggest obstacles are always it's always yourself. It's always the self-doubt, but there's no reason that a lot of the work can't happen. It's picking up the phone, being audacious and talking to the people you need to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So how do you see the future of this career path?
Oh my gosh. I think it is certainly bright. I think especially in the energy efficiency world, I think that this sector, this little corner of the climate sector, a lot of people work in energy efficiency but don't really know it, right? Like all your electricians, all your general contractors, all the people who are working on buildings, when it comes to building efficiency, those people are working in energy efficiency. So there's a lot. I think what I have learned in my 25 years of my career is that there's so many jobs that who knew that was a job? Every time I meet somebody in networking, I'm like, oh my God, that's your job? That sounds amazing. How come, I think there's so many different careers. I think sometimes, especially at university, especially at school, we have these 25 careers that we feel like that's all there is. There is so much out there. There is so much. And if you can also create your own career like I did, you could create your own role. So for me, I always just followed what felt right, and that sort of led me to where I am today.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. Your work is super interesting to me. I want to be a contractor in the future, and I want to base that around sustainability. So this is some super interesting stuff. So, all right. So what would you tell your 22-year-old self now about this career space after all of your experience?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I feel like 22-year-olds now are so much more pulled together than I was at 22. At 22, I had no idea what I was doing. I was still a baby. I think I would just say, follow your heart. Follow what feels good when it comes to opportunities. I think that is really something that I did really well, is that when a door opened, I typically went through it. Even if I didn't know where that door was going to lead, even if it might not have been the ultimate career path for me, I just kept walking through doors, and we've continued to do that as a business. So I would say keep doing that. And I would also say don't worry so much. Don't worry so much whether it is all going to work out. It is all going to be fine. Enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. So our final question here is, do you have any further advice to provide for us?
When I look at folks that are younger than me at your age, I'm just so amazed really at all the work and the way you're all thinking and the way you're working. Keep doing that. I think a little piece of advice is just reach out to people. Don't be afraid to send an email to the CEO of a company you want to talk to. There's no reason you shouldn't and no reason you can't. A lot of times people are so willing to sit down with people and give advice. Not people love giving advice. So I would I would definitely just encourage you to, you want to talk to somebody, send an email, pick up the phone. The worst they can say is no, and then you'll be in the same position you are now.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just wondering if there's anything that I might have not asked that you'd want to cover with your career here, or anything like that at all?
I don't think so. I think I think one thing in my career is around leadership is really, it's I have the technical and the business skills, but also around leading and leadership is a journey in and of itself. And I think earlier in my career, I thought that okay, I'm a leader, I've done it, I took the courses and I run a business, but gosh, leadership is like a lifetime journey. And I'm always learning every day. So I think that's always, as you grow, just continue to find those places that you can show up as a leader. You don't need the title to be a leader. It's how you show up every day.
Right. Did your education lead you into working in the sector?
I would say no. I'd definitely say no, but I would also say that my time in my undergrad and in my master's, when I got my MBA, it built my network. It helped me learn how to connect with people. It also helped me like time management, putting documents together, presenting, communicating ideas. Those are all, like, I do that in my job every single day. Even like, I think I took like economics 101, like even that, which I hated and I did not do very well, but it's helpful. Like, it's all helpful. It's never really a waste of time, I would say.
Right.
So even though, I don't do biochemistry as in my career, it was a good and helpful experience for me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of helps you figure out what you want to do too, based off of that.
It does, yeah, and it's all a journey. And education is nobody can take education away from you. I think that's the other key, right? You always
definitely
have that.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we can just wrap it up then.
Okay.
Because I can't think of any further questions. You're great. There's lots of great information there.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me, and hopefully it's helpful. And good luck to you and the rest of your class.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you joining us.
No worries. Thanks, Elisha.
Yeah, thanks, Yasmin.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.